Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So let's have a look at the Sailor Moon collaboration in Monster Strike. And yeah, I do like the series. I haven't watched it a lot, but it was on TV after school when I was in elementary school, maybe. So yeah, I do remember watching it once in a while. It was on before Power Rangers, I think. That was the real thing that I wanted to watch. But yeah, Sailor Jupiter in the upper left, she is my favorite. And yeah, I think it's pretty funny that they are characters in Monster Strike. But let's talk about the event. There's a lot going on, so hopefully I remember all of it. But first, let's look at this little building up here in the corner. And then here, this is like the Striker's Road, where if you fulfill different missions, you can advance along the road and then get more and more rewards. The ultimate reward is the Waku Waku Stick, and then the max luck of Action Kamen. No, not Action Kamen. Tuxedo Kamen. And then the missions, it's like, you know, how many times you defeat some of the Sailor Moon missions, or how many times you use a Sailor Moon character. You could use a Tuxedo Kamen for that. How many days you log in, and then how many times you do the multiplayer. So yeah, definitely do that if you can. And then another thing that you can do is that you can do these red missions. And then what these are, let's see. I guess this would be the one that most people would do. If you beat 30 missions of the Sailor Moon collaboration, any 30, then you will unlock this alternative version of Ibaraki Doji. Same stats and everything as the Hatcher monster, but you get the different artwork. And then this can be useful because if you're using like 2 of Ibaraki Doji together in the same quest, and then one of them gets hit by that fog thing, what it does is it damages all of the characters on your team that are duplicates. But because this Ibaraki Doji is a different entry in the Monsterpedia, they'll count as separate monsters, and so you won't take extra damage there. I definitely want that because I like both Ibaraki Doji and Sailor Jupiter, so that's pretty perfect for me. Also, if you clear 30 missions, then you'll unlock this line stamp. I don't know if your account needs to be you know, linked to line or not to be able to use this. I'll maybe try that out and get back. If you do 40, you can unlock the Sailor Venus version of Murasame. This is very cool. Very old character. And then also the line stamp. And then 50, you can unlock the Sailor Moon version of Alice. This one I'm not too interested in because 1, I don't have Alice. And then 2, I think I prefer the regular artwork of Alice. But yeah, there's that. Although again, it would be good to have to protect yourself from that fog attack. And then at 50, yes, you get Sailor Moon. And then there will be a super high level quest where if you beat it once, then you can unlock the alternate version of Himiko. And then yeah, if it's giving you such a nice reward for beating it once, I'm guessing it's going to be pretty tough. And then you can also get the stamp for Mars. If you beat that super high level quest twice, you get the alternate version of Yomi. And the action mask, no, sorry, tuxedo mask stamp. And if you beat it 3 times, you get the Mercury version of Horai. That would be nice to have as well. Alright, so those are the missions, and then the Striker's Road. Next, let's look at the characters themselves. Okay, there they are, a whole bunch of them. Let's look at them in order. Here's Sailor Mars. She is a 4-star Hatcher monster, and she's pretty crazy. She is a Pierce with a double null ability, null damage while null warp. That's pretty versatile. And then she has the Involute Sphere. This is very crazy for a 4-star monster. And I think she's only the 2nd character with the Involute Sphere as a main bump combo. It's just her and Mana. There's also Kanata, but his is a sub-bump combo. And then this can be important because if you're using copy, with your other teammates, it's only going to copy the main bump combo. So if you were to use copy on Kanata, you wouldn't get the involute sphere. So that's a nice benefit to Sailor Mars here. And because this Sailor Mars has the involute sphere, maybe I don't need the 5-star version of Mana after all. I just wanted to use her like in 5-star and under quests and then use the involute sphere, but because we have Mars, probably won't need that anymore. One interesting thing about Mars is that you can get her up to 90 luck. That's not quite enough to be a max luck, but we do have the monster spot system. If you are living here in Japan, you can take advantage of that. One of the monster spots is to give you 10 extra luck. So you could make Mars a max luck if you use that monster spot system. I am debating whether I want to pull in the Hatcher until I get a max luck of Mars. I still need one more Sailor Moon at this point, so I'll pull for that and then see how that goes. But very, very strong character. Next up is Mercury. She is a 5-star Hatcher monster. And then she is water bounce with regen, Minesweeper M, and then on the gauge, recovery, and null block. This makes her good for Izanami 0, makes her good for the first level of the Kinki no Goku. And then, yeah, the regen and then the recovery are also pretty good for that mission. And then she has the power field bump combo, same as Kamile Evolution, where she creates an area and then any attack that happens in there gets the buff. And so yeah, she has a lot of support abilities. And then more and more lately, support characters have been kind of important in Monster Strike. That wasn't the case for the first, 4 however many years. It was just attack, attack, attack. But little by little, we're getting more and more need for support characters. And then her strike shot, it's like a point and shoot, and then does a big explosion. It'll hit your main target, of course, but it'll also hit other targets around that are nearby. And then this does big damage, so it's a good strike shot. Okay, next is the other 4-star Hatcher monster. This is Jupiter, my favorite character. She's also very good, but of course she can't compete with the involute sphere. She is a bounce with Minesweeper M and super null gravity barrier. That is a very, very nice double null ability. She might be the only character in the game with both of that. So she'll get the speed up when she goes into the gravity barrier. It's very nice. And then she has the chain lightning, and then she is a blast type. So it's pretty close to 5-star Hatcher monster's power. And then strike shot, she gets a speed and power up, and then some additional attacks. Alright, next, let's look at the next 5-star Hatcher monster, and that is Venus. She is light bounce with null wind, dark slayer, null warp, and then null magic circle. So triple null, and then the dark slayer passive in her, which will go into her bump combo, which is the hit all 3-shot. That's the same as Robin Hood. So strong bump combo, and then it'll be extra good against dark monsters. And then the strike shot is a speed and power up. And then the character that she ends up closest to will get a delay. So yeah, kind of a mix of 2 different strike shots. If you can make it work right, then it'll be pretty powerful. Venus is pretty good. Next up is Sailor Moon. She has 2 forms. This is the evolution. Null gravity barrier, null damage wall, and then pierce. So very, very versatile. Double null sling style combination. She also has recovery. She also has the strike shot reducer. Bump combo is the satellite, which is pretty strong, and it kind of functions differently from other bump combos in that it goes around the character that hit Sailor Moon. So yeah, works a little bit differently. Pretty strong. And then the strike shot, she gets speed and power up, and then she shoots like a wave, which kind of like covers the screen, and then heals your guys, and then gets rid of negative status ailments on your party, and then gets rid of positive status ailments on the enemy. So pretty good. The Ascension form is not versatile as far as like sling style and null abilities, but she might be more versatile for a different reason. We'll talk about that in a second. But she has super null warp, and then Laser Stop, which I like, the Status Recovery, and then Counter Slayer. So she only has a single null ability, which is the Null Warp, but I think this would be the best one for her if you were to pick just one, because you want to use her as a turret. You want to use her just to get the damage from her bump combo. She has a Blast type. She also has the Satellite, which is very, very strong as a Blast type. And then she also has the Round Flash. This is the same as Othello. And then this is the same power level as Othello as well. It is a sub-bump combo for Sailor Moon, but she is a Blast type, so it goes up to 85,000. For Othello, it's his main bump combo, but he is a power type, so it's lowered, so it's also 85,000. And I shouldn't say that it goes up to 85,000, that's like the base. It expands, you know, until it hits a wall somewhere, and then the larger it gets, the more damage it does, I believe. And so if you can position Sailor Moon in the middle, then you'll hit the most guys and do the most damage. And yeah, it's pretty powerful. And then because you want to work on her positioning so much, that is why Null Warp is the best null ability for her. If she did not, or if you used her in a quest with gravity barriers, that would be good actually, because that would help with her positioning. And then mines and damage walls, they don't affect her positioning. If this Sailor Moon did not have Null Warp, she could jump into a warp and then end up in a corner where her Round Flash would not be very useful. So yeah, she's pretty good. I'm looking forward to using her. And then Strike Shot, she gets the speed and power up, and then shoots a laser at the nearest target at the end. I wish she would just shoot the laser, because then she wouldn't have to move. But it can be a good source of damage, because she has the Slayer and then the Super Null Warp. Okay, next let's look at a lot of the drop monsters. And then there are 5 of these, like, I don't know, troops. I didn't watch the show too much, like I said before, so I don't know who these guys are. But this is a 5-star, and then he is red, bounce with null damage wall, null warp, and then a blast pump combo. He's okay, but like in my case, I have Nirvana. He's another bounce, fire, null damage wall, null warp. So I'm not going to work on this guy. Stats are a little low as well. And next is the blue guy. This is a 4-star monster, so you probably won't ever use him. Although he might be easy, so it might be a good quest to get like medals. Here's another 4-star. And then this is another 5-star. He is a light bounce with null wind, null warp. Not a ton of characters with that null ability. I think the other light character was the guy from Nanatsu no Taizai, another limited character. So if you missed that, you could pick up this guy instead. He has the crosswave bump combo, which is strong, and also is pretty easy to use, so I like that. And then the strike shot, he gets the speed and power up, and then he gets the barrier around him as well after the turn. He's okay, but I'm not going to make him. Alright, then here is the Queen Beryl, dark bounce with a null block only, and then she has Fairy Slayer M and Paladin Slayer M. I'm probably going to make her. Her quest is not too hard, and it's funny because like a year ago maybe, if there was a character released with just null block, everybody would have laughed at it as useless. But actually, it's pretty viable these days. There's quite a few quests where you need, you know, the null block and nothing else, so. And then the Slayers are nice as well. You never know when those are going to come in handy. The bump combo is the Breath, which I believe got a buff recently. Either that or Flame. But it's fairly strong. It's short range, but it is fairly strong. And then the Slayers will go into there. Okay, and then here is Tuxedo Mask. And I have special memories of this guy, because I've dressed as him for Halloween a couple times. My girlfriend in high school, she really liked Sailor Moon as well. And then she called me her Darien, so yeah. Sorry to gross you out with that, but He is Dark Pierce with Recovery S and Null Gravity Barrier. And he's going to be very nice as a max luck because he'll be very easy to use and then kind of nice support abilities as well. He has a Recovery S, he has the Blast Whip combo, which is nice for a Pierce max luck. His attack is so-so. 21 is not horrible, although he doesn't have a gauge, so actually that is horrible. But he does have the critical luck skill, so that's going to make up for that a little bit. He would be good for easy quests, I would say. And then as you play through the different Sailor Moon quests against the various bad guys, if you bring Sailor Moon characters into the quest, you have a chance of getting additional drops. And then Tuxedo Mask, he will fulfill that condition. So if you had no other Sailor Moon characters, you could certainly use him. Okay, and then there are all of the alternate version artworks for all the other characters. I would love to get them. And then one last thing, I will show you my Sailor Moon Ascension because I used a Waku Waku stick on her. I like to do all of my, Hero Scroll, Waku Waku stick stuff like in a video, but I couldn't wait for this one, so I'll show you it here instead. I took the Sidekick S++ off of Marishten and then put it onto Sailor Moon. I took it off of Marishten because although he has been useful lately, like in Yasha, Myo, or Karuna, his bump combo does almost no damage, even if it's like with the double vertical laser with the Sidekick Ableberry. So I felt it was kind of useless on him, so I took it off of him and I put it on Sailor Moon. And then here we can look at what kind of values she's getting with that strongest Sidekick Ableberry. But yeah, Round Flash goes over 100,000 from 85, and then the Satellite goes over 22,000, so it's pretty strong. I've used her in Queen Barrel a few times, and if you can get it right, it's really, really strong. This is going to be a fun character to use. And then this is the team that I'm using to farm for Queen Barrel. Scorpica is good because she is a Pierce with no warp, and then the Poison, there are some Scorpions in there. And then Ducky, also Pierce with no warp, and then the Rampage Laser, which gets lots of hits, which can also help you with the Scorpions. And then a Poison Strike Shot as well. And yeah, they're both Pierce, so they can work well with Sailor Moon's Satellite bump combo. Okay, I think that will do it for my overview of the Sailor Moon event. Enjoy this, it's pretty cool. Alright, thanks for watching and we'll see you again. Take care.